All right, so here we are on our project, which is our MCP API server. So the MCP server, any MCP servers are there to connect an external service, an external API, an external piece of software to a AI model. So basically, it's a bridge between a external service, a third-party program software, and a AI model. So we connect the two pieces. Recently, I have seen Google Analytics releasing a Python MCP server for the Google Analytics to connect. So again, it's a way we can connect. And it's a protocol actually because it uses really specific endpoints. So specific endpoints, uniform. So basically, it's a standard. It's a bit like the OAuth authentication, or any similar way actually. So OAuth, it's also using, for instance, OAuth is also using the well-known, the .well-known, very famous. That one, I will quickly clean my camera. Yes, well-known, and then we have the model context. And it's funny because for me it's similar to OAuth. So, but here that's a new standard because of course it's involving, and because every day there's something new. Is now we have well-known, and then we have the model context. And then here, this is actually the spec. So we'll close my window there to make it a bit bigger, and I will close that one too. All right, so the context, we can either choose the context, which is, I forgot actually the URL. There's like the standard context we can use, or a custom one, and in my case I have a local context reference, and it's here. It's stored in the vy.json, v1, I should say v1.json, and so you can see we have name, we have description, version, tags, contact, and that's the contact. I need to double check these details to be sure it's correct, because I didn't check yet, but feel free to check this one out as well by yourself and leave me a comment if you found out something. And then we have content, endpoint, and metadata. So everything again is like changing very fast. So maybe at the time you will watch this video, it will be a little bit different. I believe that, well, probably not too much for this, but for the endpoints or for the way we are using and consuming a MCP server, it might be a little bit different. Everything evolves very fast, but I believe it will still be quite similar because it's pretty simple actually, and it works for a reason. It's because it's simple. It's because it's straightforward. So we have the content here. I have v1, so just in case I make breaking changes in the data there. And then we have context and content here, and here is the context. I suggest you to use ChatGPT. In my case, ChatGPT works the best, I believe, as a design partner. Like basically it will be your architect. And so you will question ChatGPT to say, hey, what do you think about this endpoint? Hey, what do you think about adding that or using well-known or something else like well-known here? Or what do you think about versioning my API? And so ChatGPT will be your, design partner, your architect partner, and it will help you to understand better your project. So you will describe exactly the need of your project. So the needs, the company, okay, why do we need this? How it will be used and for what? And if it's internal or not internal, of course, the level of security and the way we would architect the project would be different. And using a tool such as ChatGPT as an architect partner, I really found out super powerful because of course, you have to describe exactly how your project is and in details, everything, and why at the moment you are hesitating and what's the best. And don't hesitate to, if it doesn't do directly, you can use the deep search. Deep search option is super powerful. You can ask to fetch the web, to fetch a specific URL, and so it will understand better. More context, the better answer you will get always. And here I have some environment variables. Indeed, I love environment variables. So I have installed in server.ts, I have installed .env. And if we go here in package.json, that's my MCP server, like package.json. And here I use ts node dev. I use TSC, of course, to compile the TypeScript files into JavaScript. And I use npm run to build first. So I execute, oh, my bad. I execute that command, build, and then prod does that, start does that too. It's basically the same. And then we have server.js. You could have index.js if you do prefer, but in my case, if we look at the architecture here, I just decided to have a server.js and not index.js. But you know, that's up to you. I decided to have root folder, and then I have my roots, but some people would just have everything in their server.js. It's just the way you prefer to architect. In my case here too, my spec, my JSON spec here, it's in locally in a public folder. And so if we go to server.js, you will see, because I use Fastify, you could use Express.js. Express is a really nice framework. You could use Nest.js, but in my case, I kind of like Fastify, to be honest. So here I do register the Fastify static, and I have my public folder, and then, yeah, that's just the prefix, which is optional root. And so I have also the app version. Again, if we look here in our env, I don't have secret variables whatsoever, so it's okay. So that's my env file with all of the variables. I have website, email, the tags. For the tags, I split each tag because, you know, they have a separator. It's the comma here. And so if we look here, I use split. And actually the other way around is join. If we have an array and we want it to become a string, and the string from each value of the array would be joined back with a comma, we would use join. But here this is a string, so I make it as an array, so tags will actually become basically it's like it's an array. So tags is an array, and we use it here. Yeah, that's a specification, and basically the env file overwrites all of the default values. But if I don't have it, if it's missing in my env file, that's not a problem, because then it would use the default value, which is mentioned here. I could use actually the colocin operator like that. That's fine too. It's even safer, it's even better actually. So yeah, we also handle the null colocin operator. And actually, if you're curious, it's null. I'm always bad with the spelling, null colocin operator. And again, it's exactly opposite. It doesn't do like bad with this one, double question mark. So again, if we do process MCP name, exactly like this. I really like it. I started using it in PHP 8 because it was a nice feature introduced in PHP 7.4, if I remember well. Yeah, 7.4. Yeah, if I'm correct. And of course in ES, I think it was in ES6. Yeah, they had, I believe it's in ES6. And after it became available in Node 14, the colocin operator, really nice. All right. So now what else do we have? Here we have a lot of other nice things. So for the server, when we run the server, I will show you in my console. I always open the console with a shortcut in VS Code, which is Control and then tilde in Mac, Control tilde. And here I do npm start, because the npm start will run this command, the start. Yeah, I know, it's explicit. Npm start. For the non-default commands, so for the ones like the npm start is a shortcut. Basically, npm knows we don't need to do npm run start, but for the other one, like build, we have to do npm run build. This is why that's why in my case, I have been using Yarn for a very long time, Yarn, and even PNPM for not as long as Yarn, but Yarn, I really like it. Yarn v1, of course, I've been using it for like ages, and Yarn v4, more recently, Yarn v3, v4, Cherry, I think that's the name, Yarn Cherry. And in Yarn, what's really good is that you just do Yarn and then the comment, and you don't have to mention run. And the same when you install a package, you just do yarn add. I mean, which is nice in npm because we have I instead of install. But yeah, Yarn, yeah, I'm not sure why I speak about Yarn, but it's because usually to run a command like prettier fix, you cannot do npm and then directly prettier fix. It will not understand it. With Yarn, you can do that. With npm, you have to mention run. and then it works, you see. So in our case, we have to do npm start. And I like doing that in npm. You know, you can you can use prefix. So everything prettier, and then you have colon, prettier, colon, check, prettier, colon, fix, and so on. All right, so here, oh yeah, my file has been, I did prettier fix, so it basically, it fixes all files to have a nice indentation, and the rules I have mentioned in, oh, I didn't have a prettier config file. No, I just have a tsconfig for TypeScript, yeah. That's okay. Oh yeah, I have a citation file if you wonder why. GitHub detects automatically any citation file. You can name it citation.md for Markdown, or CFF, which is the best format for citation files. And so it will show on GitHub how other people can cite your project. So I think that's really nice. It's a new feature, kind of a new feature from GitHub. Similar to license, where GitHub automatically detects the license of your project, of your repo, based on your license file. And here it's the same citation. It will show on the right sidebar how to cite this project, because it knows it found a citation file. So these days, adding a citation CFF file in pretty much every of my projects. Our MCP server is running on port 3000. Again, we mentioned that in our env file, but we can overwrite to 4000, for instance. And here the URL, I can even change that. And inside of server, you see default is 3000, but if we have something here, port, then it will know, oh yeah, port, okay, it's 4000. So if we do it again now, yes, it's 4000, as you can see, and it's running on port 4000. So that's the basics of a MCP server. Probably in the next video, I will show you how you can use it. So now it's running. So let's call it, and let's make the bridge between our AI model and our external software application API whatsoever. And so the MCP server will be in the middle to connect them both. All right, so I wish you a happy AI coding, happy AI productivity day, and I will see you in another video where we will make the bridge between your external service, your AI model, and so the MCP server will be just there to connect everything, all of the dots all together.